Hello, everybody. Today, I am showcasing some more build mode concepts. First, though, I want to thank all of you for 155 likes, 40k visits, and 653 favorites. I can't believe it's already been more than 2 months since I started doing this. We're already on episode 9. I'm still working on adding official assets, like dialogue block, patrol point, etc., so once I add those into my concept game, I would be able to create concepts at a faster rate. But let's start with some changes since last time. I fixed a few bugs and improved a few systems. One bug that I fixed was that the adjustment handles stay there when loading a new map. Some others include, Boolean settings not getting saved, rotation system not available to mobile, items disappearing upon death or leaving, and Piggy not being able to open doors. Now, let's get on to the actual concepts. Like I mentioned before, I'm working on adding official assets. For the item use trigger and item spawn block, I added a color setting to fit my system because instead of having predetermined colors of items, I have colorable items. I also added a setting for the item spawn block to put it directly into your inventory. This way, the player who activates it doesn't need to pick it up if the builder doesn't want them to. Let's test that setting. Perfect. Now let's move on to actual concepts. Remember how last time I said that I would add 1k special assets? Well, I accidentally forgot about that until right before recording this, so I added a balloon decoration last minute. It's not anything crazy, but I'll try to make some better ones by next time. As you can see, the balloon is colorable, but the material cannot be changed. It is 2 blocks tall and the base of it is collidable. That's really all there is to it. Next up, we have different kinds of lights. I had this idea randomly, but then I filtered through my comments and found out that Lantro D7W actually suggested this. I'm not too sure if they meant the official light assets, like lanterns, wall lights, etc., though. But let me show you which other lights I added. Obviously, we first off have the default light block. But we also have the surface light and the spotlight. They both have the same 4 settings: brightness, range, color, and angle. Let's play with the settings a bit to see the variation. That's it for the other lights. Now, let's move on to our next concept, which is the wrench event. An unbelievable amount of people asked for this, so shout out to Splatcraft 1999, Tricky Phase 37, Flukas, Judever 12545, Tamilia Tano, Milowennerstrom, Akorablex 2384_9, H3S, Anticrave_, Trinity Lee 5128, and Madia Fire Coldface. I'm going to place a wrench as well as the wrench panel. Since the panel is linkable, I'm going to link it to an OR gate so we could see when the signal is fired. As you can see, you could activate the panel by clicking on it while the wrench is in your inventory. Obviously, you could also hold the wrench out and touch it. I'm going to elevate the panel a little bit so that it's easy to touch. Perfect. But not only does the panel pass on the signal, it also passes on the player data. The player data will be whoever activated the panel either by touching or clicking. Let's connect the panel to this player configuration block to test that out. This way, when I activate the panel, it should make me faster. Perfect. Now, let's move on to our next concept, the sum gate. I've been wanting something like this in the official game for a while, so I was really glad when I saw that other people suggested it. This concept was suggested by JEREMYAX. There are 2 settings, the requirement behavior, and the input count. The input count is how many inputs should be linked to the gate for it to activate, and the behavior is whether it needs exactly that number, or at least that number. As you can see, when at least 2 of the levers are pulled, the sum gate activates. Now let's change the sum requirement behavior to exactly. As you can see, the sum gate only activates when there are exactly 2 levers pulled. Not 3, not 1, not 0. For our next concept, we have the look trigger. I saw this in the epic_tank concept game post that somebody sent in my server, and also Link Hub Studio suggested it. I made the surface texture a little bit differently, with an eye icon as well as a signal tower. If you didn't guess, when a player looks at this block, it sends a signal. Also, making this block really showed how useful math is, because this system wouldn't be too easy to make if I didn't know how to use scalar dot products for vectors. We're going to link this block to an OR gate for testing. It also passes on player data, but I forgot to show that in this recording. The four settings are the margin angle of error, how narrow the player needs to look at the block, the max distance the player needs to be from the block, if it's usable by infected, and if it's usable by NPCs. At the time I'm recording this, I realized that a usable by survivors setting would be useful. So by the time this video gets uploaded, that might be a new setting. But as you can see, when I look at that block, the OR gate lights up, and when I look away, it deactivates. Also, when I am looking at the block but I move away from the max distance, the OR gate deactivates. Let's change the margin angle to 5 degrees. This way, I have to look more directly at the block, I can't be slightly facing it at a 10-degree angle or more. As you can see, even when majority of my character is facing the block, it still doesn't work unless I'm looking at that -5 to 5 degree margin. Now, I tried making it work with a hostile NPC, but it kept registering that, so maybe it would work better if I added that usable by survivors setting. But that was it for all of the concepts. Other than those, I added an info block so that I could add my own setting, triggers for everyone. It's on by default, like it would be in the official game, but if you turn it off, then only the person who activates the info block will see it. Sorry that this video was a little bit shorter than usual, but I added a lot more official assets, fixed a lot more bugs, and just generally got some stuff done. If you have any more concept suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, it would help me a lot if you subscribed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.